Who is your top 5 spring training performers? I will tell you mine today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. I am your host, Booney, one name, all passion. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. I'm from the Bay Area, and I've been a diehard A's fan since 1981. This isn't just another A's podcast. This is the most informative and insightful show on the A's, period. We cover the A's every single day, breaking down games, delivering the latest team news, and giving you deep, thoughtful analysis you will not find anywhere else. If it's happening in Sacramento or in Las Vegas, we got you covered. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. And please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. Let's get back to some baseball. I have gotten away from that this week, and we are officially 1 week away from opening day as the Athletics open up in Seattle against the Mariners. I'll give you my feeling on how I feel about the A's this year. How has spring training gone? Do I have the same optimism I have had throughout the offseason and into spring training? That's going to be a little bit later. The roster is shaping up. I'll give you my take on who I feel will make this year's 26-man opening day roster. And along with that, I'm going to give you my opening day lineup. Who are your top 5 performers of spring training this year? Now, I'm going to give you a minute and let's see if it matches up to who I have. The top spot may surprise you. Let's get to it. But first, this episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Going into spring training, the emphasis with the A's was on pitching. And right off the bat, the A's did not disappoint, coming out of the gates on fire. But as of late, they have not been as good. The one individual who has been very, very consistent and was critical for our starting rotation was J.P. Sears. He established himself last year as the ace of the A's staff. And since the A's did pick up Severino and Jeffrey Springs, he has moved down to the number 3 spot. But his performance this spring is exactly where he left off last year. He's made 4 starts. He's gone 13 1/3 innings. He's allowed 10 hits, 4 runs. He struck out 11 and walked 5 for an ERA of 2.70. This is exactly what we need Sears to be. Last year, in the months of July and August, when the A's were in any type of funk and they needed a win, they turned to Sears. He's a bulldog. He's a fighter. I like what I've seen from him this year in spring training and expect him to be one of the best pitchers on the staff. Number 4. This individual started spring training in Fuego. I believe over the first 5 games or so, he was hitting close to 600 and maintained that for the first half of spring training. He's cooled down, but Lawrence Butler is not too far off from where he left off last year. And he is showing that the second half of last year was no fluke. Lawrence Butler is 13 of 37, 3 doubles, 1 triple, 2 bombs, 7 RBIs. He has scored 6 times. He's hitting .351, OPS of 1.008. Sure, he's cooled off. That's okay. he has still shown that same explosiveness that we saw last year. And it's great to see him setting the table as he has done all last year, which made the optimism for the A's such a huge deal. Expect Lawrence Butler to be in the lineup every single day against righty, against lefty. It doesn't really matter. I'm high on Lawrence Butler. You guys know that. I have said that he will receive MVP votes this year, and I think he's going to go 30-30 this year. I really do. If the A's are going to be successful to what I expect them to be, Lawrence Butler needs to be a star, and I expect him to be one. Number 3, if you listened before, you know I have been high on this guy going into spring training, all in the offseason. I can't say enough about Hogan Harris. Hogan Harris coming into spring training was on the bubble as far as even making the opening day roster. He has made 7 appearances. He's pitched 10 1/3 innings. He has allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He has struck out 12 for an ERA of 0.87. His walks were high. He walked 10 batters this spring. But keep in mind, 6 of those walks were in his first 2 outings. When he was in there, his velocity was off the charts. Harris is a fighter, man. I'm a big Harris guy. And as far as I'm concerned, he's outperformed Spence. He's outperformed Badeau. He has outperformed Estes. And I think he should get one of the last 2 starting spots. But with that being said, we only have one left-hander in the bullpen right now with TJ McFarland. So I think we have to carry 2 left-handers in the pen. And I believe he will end up being one of our high leverage relievers coming out of the pen. Look for him to play the role that Scott Alexander did for us last year. Scott Alexander, everyone forgets how off the charts Scott Alexander was last year. I mean, he was lights out when he was called upon in every type of situation. So I think Harris will play the same type of role. Excited for him to be out there on the opening day roster and expect big things from Harris, as I have been predicting all year. Number 2, another guy I have been extremely high on, and a guy I am rooting for big time, considering his setbacks in the past due to injury, and that's Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar, 15 of 38, 395, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. He has scored 8 runs. On base percentage, 465, OPS, 1.133. Yes, his numbers are that good. Andujar is who I thought he was. He's a former Rookie of the Year runner-up to Shohei Ohtani. Everybody forgets what Andujar did when he was healthy with the Yankees. Andujar is a key piece to the A's. And I see some reporters having him platooning with Seth Brown in left field. That's a joke. Miguel Andujar is one of our best players, one of our best hitters, if not our best ball to bat hitters on the whole team. And he's shown that this spring. He's shown that in the past. And I expect him to have some power numbers that he has not had in the past. It's going to be nice to see a fully healthy Miguel Andujar and seeing what he can do with a full year under him. And again, let's hope he stays healthy. Number 1. Who do you got as your number 1? My number 1's going to surprise you. Justin Sterner. Who is Justin Sterner? Justin Sterner, we picked up on waivers last November when the Tampa Bay Devil Rays released him. 6'1", 215, 28 years old, undrafted from BYU. I mean, this guy has been unbelievable. I have no doubt that he will make the opening day roster and has been our best pitcher this spring. 8 appearances, 9 and 2/3 innings. No runs, 4 hits. Check out this. 14 strikeouts against 1 walk. Justin Sterner has been unbelievably surprising. You know what's surprising? Well, not really. Another break. We'll be back to predict who I believe will be on the 26-man opening day roster. See you in a couple. This episode is brought to you in part by Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives business flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upworks makes hiring simple and affordable. Finding the right talent. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with the freelance experts who delivered incredible results. Fast and easy hiring. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day, with multiple qualified candidates to choose from. Cost-effective growth. Instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable top-tier freelancers to scale my business efficiently. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today. This episode is also brought to you in part by FanDuel. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who's cutting down the nets. I've got my eye on a few underdogs this year, and FanDuel makes it easy to back them with spreads, totals, and game props. With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly, no waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. With opening day only a week away in Seattle, the 26-man roster is starting to form. Let's put up the old grid that I had at the beginning of spring training and see what has taken place. Now remember, your individuals in yellow is who I expected to make the 26-man roster from the very beginning of spring. The individuals in white are the individuals that are on your 40-man roster, and the individuals in black are on your non-invitee list or your 60-man roster. Now, let's start with the outfield. Wasn't too tough. Miguel Andujar, Seth Brown, Colby Thomas, Carlos Cortez. Andujar and Brown, that's simple. They will be on the opening day roster. Colby Thomas and Carlos Cortez have been sent down to AAA. JJ Bleday, he will be your center fielder. Estuary Ruiz, very, very disappointing spring training. Got sent down along with Denzel Clark, who, again, going into spring training, had the athleticism. We saw that in Vegas when he robbed a home run against the D-backs. But bat-to-ball contact has been an issue, and he never got that solved. He's been sent down as well, along with Henry Bolte. Right field, Lawrence Butler. Brett Rooker's going to play some outfield this year. He will play a little left. He will play a little right. but he's primarily going to stay at DH. Drew Avens had a hell of a spring. I mean, he hit around the 300 mark. For most of the spring, he was around 400. I was quite impressed with Drew Avens. Non-invitee, didn't do enough. At third base, Gio Urshela was solid, was who we thought he was. A veteran third baseman, provided some pop, good middle of the order depth guy. Luis Urias, he's going to play everywhere in the infield, right? He's going to play your third base. He's going to play shortstop. He's going to play second base. He did it all, and I like what he did. You guys got to remember, I mean, Urias just a couple of years ago had 23 bombs. He was good, real good. CJ Alexander started spring on fire. He was my dark horse. Fell off. Got really cold. I like Alexander. We saw some pop from him last week going oppo against who was it against? The Giants, I believe, and hit an absolute bomb. Brett Harris, who I have been high on as well. I believe Brett Harris is our best defensive player in the whole organization. He needs to figure out his bat. This spring, unfortunately, he was hurt most of the time. At shortstop, Jacob Wilson started spring off awful. Extremely, extremely slow. But as of late, has picked it up, has gotten extremely hot. And what has shocked me about Jacob Wilson is his power. He's hit 4 bombs this year in spring training. He's leading the team in home runs. Max Schumann, same thing. Extremely slow start, but has picked it up. He will make the opening day roster. And as I have predicted since the beginning of the offseason, Darrell Hernandez is just not that guy yet. He's shown explosiveness. He has speed. He gives us something that we don't have, but he is just not ready. He's hitting something like 150, 160. It was a joke to me how a lot of beat writers and a lot of people, I won't say their names, had Hernandez actually above Schumann. They must have not watched the A's last year. Logan Davidson, I love, former first-round pick, had a good spring, not good enough. Zach Geloff is hitting over 300 when I'm recording this, but strikeouts is still a huge issue for Geloff. I believe he has 18 strikeouts so far this spring. He led the American League last year in strikeouts. He needs to get that under control. Max Muncy, everybody has been talking about Max Muncy. He started off slow. As of late, he looks like that first-round prospect, and I think he's going to be special for the Aviators this year. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes up later on in the year, but yeah, high on Max Muncy. Alejo Lopez was leading the team for much of the spring in batting average, but leveled off towards the end. At first base, Soderstrom. Disappointed in Soderstrom's spring. If there's one athletic I was extremely high on and we needed a big spring from, it is Tyler Soderstrom. Yeah, he needs to pick it up. That's for sure. That is for sure. Or if he does not, the person below him will be getting called up. Nick Kurtz. Everyone wants to see Nick Kurtz come up. I don't. For 2 reasons. I want the kids to play together. I want the kids like Kurtz, Muncy, Hernandez, CJ Alexander, Brett Harris, Denzel Clark, Colby Thomas. I want them to all play together in the minor leagues. And if Kurtz does come up, it means Soderstrom is struggling. And I don't want to see Soderstrom struggle. We need a good Soderstrom. Pitching. The top 3 are set in stone. Luis Severino, Jeffrey Springs, J.P. Sears. Badeau, I had high hopes on. He's been okay. His first outing was lights out. He's struggled since. He's been very average. Estes, same thing, and along with Spence. Spence had an awful outing his last time out. 1 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, and yes, his numbers before that were good, but he was giving up a lot of hits. So yes, coming into spring training, my same doubts and concerns with regard to starting pitching is still there. Jeffrey Springs hasn't been very good either. He's gotten hit hard. And you got to give Springs the benefit of the doubt just because it's his first spring training in 3 years? So, yeah. But Severino and Springs need to be who they used to be. We need a Severino from last year, and we need a Springs from 2-3 years ago. That's for sure. Bullpen. Mason Miller, Jose Leclerc, Michel Otanez is going on the DL to start the year, which is going to free a spot up, and that's going to go to Noah Murdoch. Kotsay has actually already started that. I had TJ McFarland. He's going to make the squad. Jacob Lopez, I had him making the squad. He got sent down. That is incorrect. He just didn't get many chances. I don't know what was Lopez's deal, whether he was hurt, but when he was in there, he was effective. Ferguson's going to be there. Again, Spence, Estes, and Badeau. I don't know who's going to go to the pen with those three spots, but if I had to guess, it's going to be Mitch Spence because he did have that role last year to start the season. And my man, Hogan Harris. He's been awesome this spring. Love Hogan Harris, Bulldog fighter. Expect a big year from Hogan Harris. Shea Langoliers, no doubt about it there. And the question was Johnny Pereda. I said at the beginning of spring, the backup catcher position is going to be either Johnny Pereda or Tyler Soderstrom. And Pereda is going to get the job, not for why I thought. I thought it was going to be because of his glove. It's not. It's right now because of his bat. With Soderstrom struggling so badly at the plate, Pereda's been having a good spring at the plate. I believe he's hitting close to 300. He's hit a bomb. He hasn't struck out either. I believe all spring, maybe he struck out once or twice. Who did I get wrong? I got two guys wrong. Noah Murdoch, well, I kind of had that right because if Otanez doesn't go on the DL, Murdoch is getting waived. And Justin Sterner. Who would have thought that? So, yes, Lopez and Justin Sterner is basically the only position players I got wrong all spring. I had Lopez on the opening day roster, and I had Sterner getting sent down to AAA. So not bad. 25 of 26, basically in predicting the opening day roster. Had Lopez incorrect. Had him making the opening day roster and had Sterner getting sent down, and it flip-flopped. Noah Murdoch, yeah, I had him being DFA'd or released. But again, he got his opening day spot because Otanez is going to start the year on the IL. Not bad. Am I still as optimistic as I was? I'll say it like this. My concerns coming into the spring are the same. Starting pitching. Springs hasn't looked good. Severino, we kind of know what we're going to get from Severino. Fierce has been as advertised. And the other three have been disappointing. Estes, Badeau, and Spence. So yes, I am concerned about the starting pitching, and I'm not as optimistic about the starting pitching as I was in the offseason. We'll see what happens. Again, just spring training, right? The other concern I had was infield. Wilson has been better than I thought as of late. That's for sure. He's really picked it up. I was concerned the first half of spring training. Geloff has been better. Still concerned about the strikeouts. Urshela, a proven veteran at third base. Urias, same thing. Love them both. Love both pickups. Soderstrom, yes. He's supposed to be a middle of the lineup guy. God, we need Soderstrom bad. I was expecting better from Soderstrom. Again, spring training. Rooker had a rough spring. Am I concerned about that? No, not really. I think a guy like Rooker, who's a professional hitter, is working on different things in spring training. I think he's going to be just fine. Andahar, I expected big things from. So pleasantly, I wouldn't say surprised, but I'm not surprised he's had a big spring. I'm having a surprise and pleasantly surprised he's having this big of a spring. But again, the deal with Andahar is he has to stay healthy. So that's a key to him. Bullpen coming into the year. We got to remember last year, bullpen, one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. We're better this year. I like Leclerc. I like what I've seen from Leclerc. I was concerned about replacing a guy like Scott Alexander. If you followed the A's last year, Scott Alexander was so good. Hogan Harris is going to fill that role. I have no doubt. Mason Miller is Mason Miller. Ferguson had a little bit of a tough spring. He wasn't the best, but Jesus, where did Justin Sterner come from? Shocked. 9 2/3, 14 strikeouts, 4 hits, no runs. And it wasn't like they were making hard contact off him either. I watched his outings. He was just lights out.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the bracket breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
Opening day lineup. Here's what I got. Now, we got to look at two versions, right? Okay. When we look at two versions of the A's lineup, again, I'm going to always point back to July and August last year because that's when we had the most consistent roster. We went with two lineups. The first lineup was Butler, Andahar, Blade, Rooker, Langoliers, Brown, Geloff. Third base was a mix of guys. Brett Harris, Tyler Nevin was up there. In the A spot playing third base, and every day was Max Schumann at shortstop batting ninth. Okay, that was one version. The second version was Butler, Rooker, Blade, Andahar batting fourth, Langoliers 5, Seth Brown 6. Same thing down the with the rest of the order. 7th was Geloff, 8th, Brett Harris, 9th, Schumann. I think the A's are going to have a similar type of deal this year. You're going to have Lawrence Butler leading off, playing right field. Brett Rooker at DH, batting second. JJ Blade, center field, batting third. You're going to have Miguel Andahar. I think they're going to go with that second version as they did last year towards middle of July, towards the end of July. Miguel Andahar batting fourth. I think they're going to go with Soderstrom batting fifth against righties. Langoliers batting fifth against lefties. But for this exercise, let's just say Soderstrom batting fifth, Langoliers batting sixth. Batting seventh is going to be Urshela. I think eighth is going to be Geloff, and ninth, Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson is critical to this whole thing. When the A's were playing their best baseball of the year, it was because of Max Schumann. I can't tell you how many innings he would start with a hit, get things going, got it going to a very hot Lawrence Butler, which led to a Brett Rooker just going nuts. And that's when the A's were most successful. So that's what I see happening this year. That's for sure. I know I went a little bit out of order today, but you guys get the gist. Exciting times, that's for sure. 1 week away. I can't wait, man. It's been too long of an off season. So yes, I still have the A's winning the West. I'm still going with my prediction. I got the A's going 85 and 77. I've held that prediction for quite a long time. But some things, like I said, have not been solved. Pitching, still an issue, is something I am extremely concerned about. We'll see what happens, guys. We will definitely see what happens. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On Fantasy Baseball Podcast with hosts Dominic Martino and Matthew Onai. MLB fantasy draft season is here for the most informed fan, and set yourself up for a league win. Find Locked On Fantasy Baseball on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I will check you guys out tomorrow.